Alright, hello. We got DauT versus Mihai coming up. And we just make an announcement that we're doing some Rage Forest. DauT versus Mihai. And welcome everyone. Let me go see if I can find if we get a draft going somewhere. I think we do. Flip them on the overlay. Here we are. All right, so Saracens and Teutons, the first picks. Look at that. Persians, Slavs, Sicilians, all very high picks. Hindustani is much higher than I've seen them in the past for Mihai. So welcome everyone. Oh, T90's got a golden Kappa train. I'm finishing tonight the final map for Regicide Rumble, Festa de Pulvera. That has been a very, very complicated thing to get working for 8 players. I had to do a very fun, basically hard-coding iterations of a loop to randomly choose which location the players are placed in. Still have their bases set up. That was a lot of fun. Let's see, so hopefully Mim, Danny, and Ordinly were casting this too, so we'll have some coverage of it. And I hope that y'all having a lovely day wherever you are. Tonight I need to finish the map, but after that I'm actually gonna try to stream and do some more content a lot more over the next 3 or 4 days. So maybe Friday and Saturday we do long streams. Kind of don't want to conflict with Regicide Rumble, but we'll see how we work around that. Maybe we just do community games outside of that. Twitch telling me I have a watch streak of 1 for Ornlu's stream. What a streak that is. Twitch, I can understand if you have 2. I can understand 2, but 1... So, Franks and Burmese. So you see Mihai's team, they got the Paladin civs. They got Magyars, Franks, and Persians. DauT's team. Saracens can be tricky to use depending on the matchup. And if Mihai does have Hindustanis, maybe even Gujars, those should be good civs against the Saracens. I guess DauT has the Gujars there. And he has Huns, so Huns will be a Paladin civ. I mean, Byzantines are a Paladin civ, as much as I'd love to see that. Byzantines and Celts. I was thinking Malians fairly early in the draft. And Aztecs too for Mihai. I guess a lot of the good civs were banned. And then they got 4 more in their team bans of Georgians, Japanese, Malay, and Lithuanians. Everyone always bans the good civs. No one ever bans the bad civs in their team bans. I mean, it's global, so in theory it shouldn't really matter. I need to get my sub counter back up. I realized my sub counter was broken, and I need to fix it. So we have way on the left for Mihai, Armenians on the right for DauT. Way! I think teams have started to realize that the Way are pretty weak, and you don't really want them as a pocket civ. I'm still thinking the Huiguang Cav are the better option than the Tiger Cav. Maybe a Way flank with a good eco for an early push could help, but they fall off a lot. As do traction trips in general. Hello, Giga Zero. Yeah, waiting for Khmer. Are Khmer banned? Gotta check. Yeah, Khmer are taken already. Oh, there we are. That's why they're taken, because they're right there. Yeah, Khmer after Aztecs, Wei, and Burmese. That's interesting. I mean, Malians before Khmer. Khmer, yeah, like, the Scorpions are weak to siege onagers, but they still are a great elephant civ. And Goths for Mihai, that can be a paladin civ. Chinese for DauT. And Mapuche at the end. Inca at the end for Mihai. Inca have had various draft priorities I've seen, but I think at the end is where they should be these days. So this is the third round. Remember, the top 4 teams in each group get to the playoffs. I should get a overlay with the standings. Yes, this will probably be the only thing we cast today. Like I said, I have a bit more work to do for Regicide Rumble, and then tomorrow we should do a lot of streaming. Pesta is going to be sick, but it's going to be like a huge map with the to get the players spaced out properly. So Tato and ACCM are just playing Rage Forest. It was in a land nomad game. So just waiting for the lobby now. See how long it takes for them to get set up. They gotta think about their civs. So Chinese there for DauT at the end. Almost always a flank. Maya a flank. Byzantines pretty much always a flank, although they could be a pocket with camels. So usually Gajurs are flank, so there's 4 flanks there. Gajurs, Byzantines, Chinese, Maya. Malians probably a flank. Huns, Saracens, Slavs, pockets. Bulgarians a pocket. I've seen Dravidians in both places. 9 minutes to set up. What's the over-under? I genuinely have no idea who's favored in these Rage Force sets because of the draft setup. Personally, I would think Team DauT, but I am not sure at all. Nor am I sure how good the captains rating each other have been. So tomorrow we'll have 1 Rage Forest set at 15:30, and we have 2 sets scheduled for Sunday already. We'll probably have more for Sunday. It's 13 GMT, we start with Viper Valis. 15 GMT, Lewis and Sato. I'll have to decide whether I cast all the sets live, or if we take a break during Regicide Rumble, then come back and do the other sets as Rex, depending on when they're scheduled. I see the league starts on next week on Thursday. Starting with Tag versus Vitality and the Onamaru mirror of Capybaras versus Vanguard. Let's see how long it takes him to set up a lobby. So the Tunes as the very first pick is pretty interesting. Often they're banned. I don't see them make it through too often. Watching the clock, that's what I meant by the over-under. Oh, the over-under on when it starts. That's always a good question. These Rage 4 sets always get me. Sometimes the teams draft before, and they start right on time. Everyone's there in the lobby. Sometimes it takes them a while. They need to do the draft, think about the draft, and then do the games. Thinking about the draft is probably taking longer than the draft. And getting the right civ compositions set up properly is important too. Sometimes you might want to save civs and mashup hunt. Hope that someone uses one of their civs early on, then you can figure out where to position your civs. Like I said, Saracens, you probably don't want to fight Imp Camels from the Hindustanis. 2 tons, Teutons. So they have a chance? I mean, it's only the 3rd round. There are 4 rounds. I think everyone has a chance still. I think starting next week, we can start doing some more calculations. But these are 2 teams that I believe have lost their first 2 sets. Let me go check the standings real quick. Okay, we have a lobby. Nice, we finally have a lobby. So let me copy the link, open it in Firefox so I don't get ads. And we can look at the standings here. Whoever loses might be out. That's the second group. This is the group here. So, I mean, these are the bottom teams so far. Mihai's team, fortunately for them, haven't managed to win a game yet. DauT's team at 1-5. Need to be in the top 4. Right now, Tato, Andy, Timo, and Valas at the top of the group. It doesn't really surprise me the way this group played out in the standings so far. Tato's team has been beasting. I mean, and Tato's team has been beasting even when they had Mem. I think getting Dragonstar on his team was an insane pick in the draft for Tato. On the other side, ACCM's team has been beasting. ACCM and Benunez. And the Amigos all doing well. I mean, Valas, Sparls, Ganji, Samero all positioned to make the playoffs. But yeah, I think whoever is in this and loses is pretty much guaranteed to be eliminated. So this is an important matchup for these two for not getting eliminated. Yeah, DauT needs to lock in. Both of them need to lock in. Alright, they're in the lobby. Let me do a quick ad, get that out of the way, and then hopefully are going to launch soon, because I see 8 players in a lobby. So I hope you all have been enjoying the Rage Force so far, especially the 4K VODs I've now gotten on YouTube. It took me forever to fix the Capture Age OBS Windows 11 combination of issues and change my settings around, but I did it finally. And now I'm really happy we're able to get it working. So let me actually launch AoE 2. That's important if we're going to watch AoE 2. Need to launch AoE 2. We go into casting mode. I need to turn my sound in-game off. Don't forget to do that. Zoom all the way in. I don't know if zooming in-game has any effect. Love a game with stakes or stakes. I wonder if Stake's gonna play soon. See if we get one of those cow spawns on Rage Forest. Alright, so it looks like right now we have DauT, Matza, Miguel, and Raven against Mihai, Kamigawa, Dan, and Sorikuma. Honestly, Mihai's team with Kamigawa and Sorikuma, I think has some potential, but they need to figure things out. That Celts versus AI is too easy now. Wants to learn to save with horses. And the guys that shoot cannons. Just teach him Spanish. Teach him Spanish. And then he gets the best of both worlds all in one. With conquistadors. I mean, Celts, hey, don't forget about the wonder of Celt paladins. Okay? Celt paladins can win games. Hello, Mouse Puddles. Hello, Mountain Goat. Hello, Chipmunk. Hello, do all the quests. Everyone coming to the chat. They're 10, 8, and 6. They'll have Avery 2 as well. Aw. I'm doing pretty well today. Just woke up, gonna cast some Rage Forest, finish some Regicide Rumble maps, and work on some YouTube content. Thanks for the carry. Yeah, honestly, I probably should have realized you were a bit more dead than I thought you were early on. As the 2P, I don't really have many options. It's just Blackwood Archers. They're great, but kind of against the AI spam. It's you want more than one unit. So it looks like we are launching and about to go. So welcome in to Rage Forest, Miguel's team. Look at that. This is going to be Team DauT against Team Mihai. And we will have DauT versus Mihai to the northwest, and then Matza versus Sorikuma to the southwest. There are 2 pawns on the map. Mihai has one on the flank. Miguel will have one as a pocket on DauT's team. So it is Matza, Miguel, Raven, and DauT against Mihai, Kamigawa, Sorikuma, and Dan. Immediately we'll have Sorikuma and Matza engaging in a scout fight. And this is a fairly open side on the left. The right's pretty closed with only one passageway. So pretty easy for Matza to get 2 walls up, but harder if he wants to get more forward so his pocket doesn't have to come in wall. Otherwise, there'd need to be some forward walling from Miguel. But the stream will play some Kingdom Come Deliverance. Nice. I've never played that. Maybe I should try it out sometime. And there is a hole in the wall, Matza. There he goes. Only 1 Vil forward, too. No loom for Sorikuma. So Sorikuma, just interesting. More Vils forward. Now he's just now doing loom. We can delay loom a bit, you get a better Dark Age. Couple of Vils forward for Matza. Don't like giving Captain DauT the weakest side. It's always interesting whether captains are pockets or flanks. But I'll have a Mapuche for DauT as the flank, doing a Champy Scout forward. He gets some pretty nice forward walls. Mihai, though, a player as the Aztecs, probably wants to go Men-at-Arms Towers. Mihai usually likes going for Men-at-Arms rather than a Vil fight in Wall War. Also, he has a nice pawn. Could even do a mill on the berries in a way where he takes the fish. It'll probably be Kamigawa as the Franks wanting to dock. So Franks and Goths. Yeah, and oh my gosh, all the Vils forward for Matza. All the Vils forward for Matza. They'll find Miguel's scout, they won't kill it. But now Sorikuma and Matza are going to be in a huge Vil fight. So in terms of 1v1 skills, I definitely put Sorikuma pretty high above Matza. But in terms of being chaos, or being chaotic, and causing mayhem. There are very few people higher on than Matza, or higher up on the list. I did see there is a team game session of Beery, Red Phosphor, and Matza playing together. That is a scary team. Just add Huang to it. So we'll have a triple Tapir lore for Dan. Looks like he's got that well under control. The Goths will have the longer lasting hunt these days. Or, yeah, their hunt lasts longer. I wish that the Goths had the Jurchins bonus instead, that it didn't decay. I feel like that would have been a nice Goths bonus, instead of using it for the Jurchins. But, alas, they've already added too many civs. And Sorokuma, okay, don't forget about your Vil. Getting a nice Tapir hunt. He's Vil fighting. There's a lot of micro here, and Raven still has his scout, so the opposite pocket sent the scout over here. Didn't really need anything there. We'll have a wolf in the middle, as Kamigawa needs to get his scout forward, I think, to help out in this fight. I want Sorokuma losing because there was an extra scout from the other team. Now, DauT could send the Champy, but, I mean, that's a Champy. Hello, Lily. How you doing, Lily? Predators had different effects, not here. How long until we get civ bonuses specific to different animals, like pigs but not sheep? Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, for Rage Forest, all the predators are reskinned wolves, so we don't have any of those new silly charge attacks or whatnot. And here we have Feudal Age from Mihai, so Mihai will be the first one up. As I said, he doesn't fight in the Dark Age, he goes Men-at-Arms. Was very successful when he, Kamigawa, Dragonstar, and Sato played together. But, I mean, Dragonstar and Sato are... I mean, I'd say the combo is probably better than Sorokuma and Dan. Sorokuma might individually 1v1 be the best of those players right now. He versus Sato would probably be a close set. They're teammates on Taiwan. So with the walls not quite up for Matza, Sorokuma has to be careful he doesn't get Vils trapped on the other side of the wall. And he's just going to fight the wall. So as Matza pulls back, that's an opportunity for Sorokuma to wall, but might not matter because the entire middle is open. Sorokuma lost some HP on that villager, but with 22 HP in Loom, he could still go for the Tapirs. Yeah, Miguel did have to come forward and wall. As Sorokuma is trying to go for a very forward wall. I think that's greedy. I think he could have gotten a simple wall up. But at this point, the wall wouldn't really matter too much because this is still open, and he'd need to wall that and wall the pocket. So I might as well just play open here. And also we had the Goths player in the pocket. That makes it a bit tricky because the Goths player can't stone wall. Kamigawa as the Franks can. But this is going to be fairly open considering Mihai hasn't walled. He's going to do the gate on the opposite side of the wall. And DauT will react with some stone walls. We'll have some Vil fights continuing here. Yeah, Bob, you might be surprised to know that DauT's real name contains the word doubt. So, forward gate to there, and Sorokuma, with the presence of that gate, will just have to concede that he goes for the back section of walls. He'll get those up, though, but Matza coming around. Is Matza ready to douche? I mean, he's got 9 Vils forward. If he sent a couple more forward, he could. He'd probably just die. I mean, the Goths pocket wants to boom. They're not going to go Knights. You got Kamigawa, who's probably got to focus on the other side. DauT has to do a defensive tower. Raven as the Huns just booming. Now, Huns versus Goths could be a tricky pocket matchup if the Goths are spamming Halbs. And yes, this is exactly what Sorokuma needed to avoid. Matza walling him in, and Matza has more Vils. Matza will win this Vil fight, and it won't even be close. Matza finally getting Sorokuma out of position when he looped around the back. And even though Sorokuma had the walls up, again, he didn't have this middle passage walled. Matza got his Vils around the back, and Sorokuma sending his entire village, trying to save the villagers. He wants to extract them, but not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. And now, he's got to wall these Vils in from both sides. Are they double palisaded? I think there's a hole. There's got to be a hole. And Matza will come forward and wall. Meanwhile, Miguel, Market Blacksmith, he is just fish booming. He's having a good old game here. Maybe not the easiest boom because he had to go forward, but he is Dravidians on a pond, so he will indeed like having that dock. Oh wait, he is the Khmer. He is the Khmer. So he can't actually hop. He can't hop there. He can't hop there. So if this were a gate and a house, or a gate and a wall, he can. It's the same thing with tower hopping. You cannot hop diagonally over two enemy wall tiles. If it's a wall in a house, or a wall in a tree, or anything else, you can hop diagonally. But there's a special case for diagonal walls that hopping isn't allowed. We'll have an X on the pond here from Sorokuma. So he wanted to save the Vils, but he needed... Yeah, it's not possible to do it in this setup over the walls of the house. And you can't build across that diagonal either. Another option would have been, like, you think, oh, maybe you build the house on the other side, but not possible. I mean, maybe one thing he could have done is tried to build a house quickly with his Vils and garrison inside of it. Just keep them safe, but that probably wouldn't have worked either. So it looks like we have a scout forward for Kamigawa. Diagonal gates from both players here. Well, great play from Matza to go for the loop around trap. And looking at the Vils, he's up by 5 Vils now. Did he save 2? Really? I think he might have hopped in from this side. I don't think he saved them. Because if he saved them, he would have put more in the house, right? I'm pretty sure you can't do that. Diagonal gate. It's not banned here. Although it's a weird thing. The diagonal gate is like the one thing that you actually can place diagonally, like over the diagonal wall. I'll need to look into that. It's a weird one. I think it's because it like somehow checks the middle of the gate instead of the sides, but because it's like multiple buildings put together. I wonder if you could do a TC diagonally across the wall. Men-at-Arms here fighting Vils. It's a weak Vil trying to get to the TC. So the Men-at-Arms from Mihai have now come to the opposite side. They're going to help the Sorokuma break in. And Kamigawa was there at the scout too. So yeah, Rainbow and Matsu's base. As we'll have also Dan's here. Dan has a couple of scouts he's sending. Yeah, the Kamigawa was here, Dan's scouts, and we will have a forward workshop from Dan looking to push into Miguel. So both flanks are pretty weak at this point, and Dan as the Goss is going to try to break into Miguel's base, and just kind of hope that Matza and Sorokuma are both so weak that neither of them will contribute, and considering they're both Dark Age still, that might be very true. Sorokuma at least up to the Feudal Age a bit faster than Matza is. Matza is just going to stay Dark for a while. And we'll get Ram pushing through the wall. There's nothing really happening on Mihai's side just yet. Kamigawa went for a defensive workshop, but DauT isn't pushing. As the Mapuche, he'll just boom on 3 TCs. I don't know what he's going to go for an Imp, but we'll have Knights from Raven. So Raven's 3 TC booming, he'll be going 1 stable Knights to help defend Miguel. Miguel will do his own workshop. And at this point, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4 TCs from Kamigawa. He's going to boom and try to go Paladins and Imp. If they can keep this open, they'll have a great spot for him to go forward for the Paladins. And open it is right now. Monk forward for Dan. That'll make it a bit awkward to use the Monks for Raven. And a bit of walling there from Miguel, but I think that's open still, in case they wanted to loop around and hit Matza again. Hopefully I don't have to rejoin the game. Please, DE, don't make me rejoin the game. They're still down. Gosh. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to rejoin the game. Dang it. Rip. Alright. Thanks, DE, for making me rejoin a game. Hold on. Gotta fast forward again. DE cannot... Oop, I joined the wrong game. Rip. Yep. If my internet drops briefly, I have to restart the game from the start. So, where were we? Game over means stream over, right, DE? Yep, thanks, DE. So my internet dropped for like 10 seconds, and I gotta restart the game from the beginning. So we were pushing up here. Yeah, defective edition. I think that might be the way to describe it. Let's see. We're in F territory today. F. Very F. I can't fast forward. Why can't I fast forward? There you go. Okay, at least I'm in the game now. Comcast? No, my internet's worse than Comcast. Let's see. I think I need to rejoin again. Hold on. We're gonna get this figured out, chat. We're gonna get this figured out. It's genuinely surprising to me that there's no, like, late join option. All I would need to do is, like, save the game state, like, once every minute and keep updating the state, and then you just join the current state. Maybe have a join from the start or join late option. It genuinely should be a pretty easy feature to implement, but thanks, DE. Alright, we're gonna watch a big Vil fight again. No, oh, this is just gonna let us check the house hop again. We can just check the house hop. I'm pretty sure it's not possible, but maybe I'm wrong about that, or maybe it's just some weird thing. Vil fight again. These Vils are raging. Yeah, and here's the loop around the back. And Sorokuma sent his Vils back at the wrong time, got walled in. And he's going to try to build the house. Now, can he save Vils? Maybe he did save them. Okay, it looks like he did. Like, I'll have to look into that then. I thought that was not possible. Maybe it is. It looks like he did save 2 Vils there. Looks like I was wrong about that. So they're going to break through, get a bit more forward into Matsu's base. At the same time, they'll start ramming down into Miguel's base. And we'll have a forward dock. Now we're getting caught up to where we were. Let's do this on ×2 speed. So forward dock for Dan as the fish from Miguel are being pressured. Miguel's going to get some galleys out to try to alleviate the pressure. There's a nice mangonel there. I thought it wasn't possible on the diagonal, but I'll have to check that. House, so the mangonel goes down to the knight. And a couple of Vils building houses here for Dan. As he still is forward, at least he's disrupting the fish boom quite a bit. So we'll have another TC for Miguel. Castle Age on the way from Matza. Castle Age is in for Sorokuma. Neither of them have Vils, but 10 more Vils so far from Matza. Maybe Sorokuma can get some TCs running first, though. He's doing one between the gold and the stone. And on the other side, looks like just a mangonel defense. No one really pushing between DauT and Mihai. 2 captains not really doing much, but Mihai gonna go fast imp. This is also kind of Mihai's style. He's like, don't fight for the wall in the Dark Age. Go for a men-at-arms push, and then go fast imp afterwards. As a fast imp as the Aztecs can be pretty darn strong. I have another castle up for Miguel. As we have Mihai up to imp and Matza up to the Castle Age. And now, with Imp, it'll be a Monk push. So Monk push from the Aztecs, as the mangonels start going through the wall. And Mihai has to be careful not to mangonels on Monks, as we'll have lots of walls on the other side, but a defensive castle and some petards. Petards, but against multiple layers of walls. As Mihai is just trying to break through. And the pockets are still booming away, but we're getting to around 30 minutes or so. This is when they need to be thinking about clicking up. Nice micro from Kamigawa, not to hit Mihai's Vils, and Mihai will want a castle. DauT doesn't have a mangonel, and Mihai could hop over here if that champion dies. He could definitely hop. It's hardest to do it to the north, but he could hop between the tree and the wall. If you look at that castle up, he'll also be ramming through the walls. As we'll have just mangonels and walling everywhere. Everyone walling, giving us a chance to catch up to live time. That needs a castle to stop this. Well, will the castle be forward enough as both pockets are up to Imp? And it'll be Huns versus Franks. In a pure Paladin war, I think I would prefer the Franks. As we now have Aztec monks, too. You get enough Aztec monks and you can deal with the early Imp knights into Cavaliers. Just give your pocket a bit more of an advantage. As the light cav get converted, the conversions from Mihai. And we're going to have DauT going for the Bolas Riders. But monks there to deal with them. This is a good push from Mihai's team. DauT is Imp, but he's losing 2 TCs now. And he is getting pushed pretty darn hard from Mihai. There's going to be some Vils in the middle, as Miguel wants some Mangonels maybe to help out DauT. Everywhere else, there's just walls and walls and walls. So Akuma going for full fortified walls. More defensive castles from DauT. DauT's team is still in the lead. It does feel like Dan doesn't have nearly the boom that Miguel does. And Dravidians, I would think they have tools to go swordsmen and counter Goths. How beefy are the Aztec monks? They have 75 HP right now. And I think we're back to real time. We've caught up, chat. We've caught up. Let's hope my internet keeps holding up, but we've caught up. The Cavaliers pick off a Vil. And a couple of Bolas Riders here attacked by the Mangonels. Forward golds for DauT that are now going to be mined from Mihai and from Kamigawa, so the pockets will get some resources here. DauT's still under a lot of pressure, but he does have significantly more Vils than does Mihai. And the raise from Kamigawa, as he has Paladin on the way, have to be effective here. DauT's taking a lot of damage, but is it enough to make up for being 1 TC Imp from Mihai? Also, can Mihai's team potentially sling him in Sorakuma? There we go. I'll get the letters right. Sorakuma back into the game since they're a bit low and the Imperial Age players can sling now. I guess Dan can't sling himself. He's just up to Imp. He's got to be going Goth stuff. So the Cavalier raids still doing damage. And Mihai still keeping DauT open with the monks. If he can get one more forward castle or some trebs out, that'd be nice. He's going to need quite a few trebs to be able to besiege the castle, and with all the Cavaliers, you don't want a trickle treb. You're going to want to make sure you go all at once. And some more light cav ready to pick off monks. And, I mean, the conversions on the early light cav are great. The Frank Paladins now. I believe Chivalry should be in. Oh, no Chivalry yet. That will be important for keeping the numbers up, but maybe you need a bit more eco for that to pay off. How good are the Bolas Riders? I would think not good at all. They do 9 attack right now, and the Paladins have 7 armor. And there are so many of them, the slowdown, I think, doesn't really matter too much. They're in a tight choke point now. And Dan gonna triple this side. So Dan's going to triple this side as there is a cut. And I think they're aware of the fact there's a cut. So Sorakuma is going to try to stonewall everything. He's stonewalled the lumber camp into the wall. Yeah, and also this is a bit tricky because Dan can't help with the walling as the Goths. He can't help because he only do palisades. But the castle for DauT being trebbed by Mihai. I'm, though, really scared of Miguel versus Dan. And how tricky it's going to be to play Goths against Dravidians. Maybe the Goths player needs to go pretty heavily for just gunpowder, hand cannoneers, and the Goths, I believe they do have bombard cannon. Yeah, maybe it's hand cannoneer, bombard cannon they have to go. As Woot Steel Swordsman should wreck the Goths if they try to go swordsman. Did DauT run Vils? Let's just check on the map. I don't see anywhere else. Maybe here. He has some Vils over here. So he has some Vils over there. But he didn't run his entire economy, as he now is being overwhelmed by Mihai. That's 51 Vils for DauT, 83 for Mihai. The floodgates have opened. And right now, though, the walls are not up in time for Sorakuma. He needs to wall the entire map. This is at least somewhat contained. Maybe they could start walling back here. Dan at least will have a castle in the area. Maybe he needs, like, 3 more castles. And they just try to hold with gunpowder. As the score lead is still there for DauT's team, but DauT is now at the bottom. He'll need to reboom down to 42 Vils. And the push towards the pocket is continuing, just not enough ranged units to stop the rewalling. And maybe, just maybe, there's a moment where the paladins from Kamigawa will have to come over here. We're getting ballista elephants from Sorokuma, and a ram push now from Matza as the Chinese, going Fire Lancer, Ram, and Shuko News. I do think that elephants probably beat Fire Lancers. They don't have the same attack bonus that Halbs would, but then the Chinese player can just go Halbs. So here's the push, here come the paladins. There's another castle from Dan. Now if there is a player who can get up enough barracks to spam and stop the paladins with Halbs, it would be the Goths player. The Goths player is just gonna wall with barracks. What better unit to wall with? But this cut does endanger the trade line. As now, Halbs are here for Miguel. Dravidian Halbs, presumably they do have Woot Steel. They don't have Woot Steel yet. That sure is a gothy wall of barracks. Now here comes the Fire Lancer Ram push, and this is maybe Sorokuma not prepared to deal with it. As Mihai's team takes the score lead, we'll have some forward workshop from Matza, and this push will be strong. Remember, the Khmer only have two-handed swordsmen, so they can't really go swordsman line to fight the Rams and Lancers. They do have ballista elephants, but the ballista elephants aren't going to destroy the Rams. Khmer, they do have an option for sappers to have Vils fight the Rams, which might even be a good idea for Sorokuma. But right now, this is a dangerous ram push. As Sorokuma has 3 castles, he was going to rely on ballista elephants. And he needs to repair the castles. It looks like the Fire Lancers are going to go down, but he needs a way to stop the Rams. Can he get enough ballista elephants to stop the Rams? I think he needs to fight with Vils. He's fighting with Vils, and Matza, maybe he should have committed with the Rams, but he's going to try to pull back. He might lose Rams in the process, so Sorokuma just enough to defend this. Just enough. There'll be an X in the middle as the Paladins from Raven will get into Dan's eco. Maybe stop some barracks. The Cyan Pocket Paladins versus the Purple Pocket Paladins. It's a lot of Purple Paladins here from Kamigawa. T90 has no food. Oh, is T90 playing Regicide Rumble? What do you mean he has no food? Is the map broken? Nobody has food. What map is it? Oh, Glades is bugged with no food. Interesting. That is the same map we used last time. I don't know why it would have no food. I can just play it with no food then. I need to alt-tab and fix Glades. Oh, our base is there. Let me ask our base. Everybody sent me a screenshot that's not loading. He's going for the castle. Yeah, they're playing on. Alright, they're playing on. I mean, honestly, it's a free-for-all, right? It doesn't really matter. You just have a different Dark Age. You don't have food. So, the ballista elephants are now pushing. The paladin spam is getting into the economy. There are a ton of halbs coming forward. And monks will be healing up everything here from the paladins. I have a castle from Mihai. And DauT needs to reboom. He's still on 48 fills. He has enough TCs to reboom. This is what you want to do, though. Hit the player while they're down. If you can get paladins into the reboom, you cripple them. But DauT's team needs to hold while getting DauT back into the game. They're going to need his army numbers, although I'm maybe questioning what the Mapuche are able to do in Imp. As the Treb push is about to hit Miguel's pond. There are some paladins trying to come back, as we do have a bit of a pause. Yeah, this might be Mihai's team's first win, unless DauT can stage a comeback. Bearded Axe and Elite Throwing Axeman for Kamigawa. Anarchy also for Dan. As looks like Matza might struggle to push. We have a pause. Miguel, I think. Oh, is Miguel patrol stacking? Is he doing it? Or Miguel? Does Miguel have units anymore? He has halbs. Oh yeah, they're kind of trapped there. Who is admin for this? It's done anywhere, I think. GG. Okay, GG, yeah. So I think Miguel was patrol stacking halbs there, but they're just gonna call it GG anyway. So no big deal. Yeah, I don't. It's hard to tell. I think that was probably a patrol stack, but sometimes it's just like you're bunched up and you try to click and they stack anyway. But that looked like a patrol stack. And Filling, thank you for the follow. All right, I'm gonna have a very quick check of the Regicide Rumble map. I guess they're just playing on. But that's 329 kills for Kamigawa. So Mihai, basically the strategy that he had done on Sato's team last time they had won an event of don't fight for the walls, go men-at-arms, fast imp. Pocket, by the time he's imp, the pocket was boomed up and ready to spam Cavaliers and fight DauT. So DauT couldn't hold on. His pockets boomed from Raven wasn't quite the same level as Kamigawa. Dan was able to spam the Goths over here a bit too. And the cut from Miguel did reach into Dan's base, but Dan able to get enough castles up. And if you're going to cut and push a player, even though they don't have the fortified walls or even stone walls, their walls are the fact that they can spam halbs fast enough that even if they're late to react, as long as they have barracks, they can deal with the paladins with halbs. So let's give a win then to Team Mihai, their first win. And for the civs, that was Aztecs, Khmer, Goths, and Franks winning against the Dravidians, the Chinese, the Mapuche, and the Huns. So let me just check. I gotta do some quick map scripting. As they'll take a moment for the next game. What happened with the Glade? Yeah, Glade isn't even a map I touched. I just copy and pasted it. Houseboat is missing the starting buffalo. Let's see if I can generate a map. The game's gonna crash generating this map, no. Okay. Let's just check. Window for project. So in the lobby for their next game. Looks like Gem Jack will come on. Step 1, don't let DauT build castles. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, win. Alright, still in the lobby. So I'm looking over the civs now. Mihai's team still has their top 4 civs available. DauT's team did use Dravidians. So Teutons, Persians, Sicilians, all 3 really strong pocket civs. Same for Saracens, Slavs, and Bulgarians. They're going to launch into the next game now. And here we are. DauT will be the pocket this time. Mihai's still on the flank. Actually, no, wait. DauT will be the flank. Let me just swapping colors around. There. So for some reason, Capture Age is picking Miguel. But we'll have DauT versus Sorkuma on the flank. DauT will be the Gajurs. It'll be Gajurs, Saracens, Malians, and Maya, with Jim Jack coming on from Matza on DauT's team. On the other side, oh, this is an interesting clearing, where this set of walls is very far away, but it'll be Raven versus Mihai on the flank. That'll be Maya versus Burmese. Everyone is Dark Age. That is how the game starts, in the Dark Age. So, Mihai will lure his boar early on, and DauT immediately doing the mill. A bit of a forward berry patch for him. I don't know if that really matters as the Gajurs, but eventually if you have a super intensive mill fight, you might end up destroying the mill. We'll need his pocket to pick up the sheep on the way, but Miguel's scout's already forward. So, DauT and Miguel the same side now. Yeah, DauT swapping and playing blue. Has game over? That's not my internet dropping, right? That's just something happened in the game. Oh, it went out of sync? Why is the game out of sync? Hold on. Game went out of sync. That is weird. Was that like a problem they had? Did other casters have that problem? If I rejoin, will it be okay? Why is it out of sync? What are these problems we're having today? Out of sync. That was weird. Alright, let's see if we can catch up. Will the same thing happen again? Okay, so we're just Vil fighting again. What are these DE issues? We're past the point where it went out of sync, right? Okay. That was a weird one. But the game went out of sync. Alright, we'll have another house coming up for DauT. So he's just committing to the Vil fight. DauT versus Sorokuma. Sorokuma chopping the straggler because why not? And Vils go down. As more Vils going down? I just heard a Vil death. There's Xing down at the south from Mihai, and he's like, I gotta walk all the way down there to wall. Actually, whoa, Raven! Look at these walls from Raven. Mihai's gonna be surprised, but Raven got some super forward walls. As Sorokuma is still fighting DauT. They're both on 12 Vils, but this is the good part of being the Gajurs. You get food for free, so you can commit all your Vils to fighting. Yep, Sorokuma's played every game so far. I feel like Sorokuma isn't really a Rage Forest player the way some of the other people are. But he's definitely been committing to the Vil fights. Vils here from DauT being pushed back. Scout blocking the boars. As this boar will fight the Vil, be under the TC from Sorokuma. A big Vil fight again. The Vils here from Sorokuma have to pull back. I think you're seeing him 0-6. Well, he has a win now. He has a win. More walls go up for DauT. The Scout will have to pull away for Sorokuma. Only 5 HP. These Vils have one big fight, but feels like they're going to start going down for DauT. He's a couple of weak ones. A nice pick off there from Sorokuma. As DauT's just sending everything forward. He's got more Vils chasing the weak Scout. He'll have Feudal Age from Mihai on the other side. Again, Mihai just going to push the walls with the diagonal gate. And we'll also have Feudal Age for Kamigawa. Feudal Age then for the other pocket for Miguel on DauT's team. Miguel with a nice pond. Look at the pond situation. And it's important for Sorokuma to win this Vil fight because his pocket, Dan, has a Sicilian fish boom in the pond. DauT's coming very far forward trying to get walls up. He should get these walls. Sorokuma had to go around the stone, and he's not going to get there in time to fight this. Can he get back around the side? He can block one tile. DauT walls that off. And DauT actually has some very forward walls, extra so because of the forward stones for Sorokuma. And DauT still has more Vils forward in this fight. It's the same number of Vils for both, but I think we're seeing just the benefit of the food for the Gajurs in the Dark Age. This just feels so much smoother for DauT. They're continuing to commit, and see Mihai did break through the forward walls from Raven. He will now get some stone walls down in this passage, as he is going for the tower rush against Raven, who's still Dark Age and trying to wall that out. Some Sorokuma keep fighting. Gonna stand on those palisades. Try to take a fight here against DauT, as DauT has to pull back. There'll be a scout for Miguel that goes down. And DauT wanting to get that last tile of Palisade. Sorokuma trying to stay on top of it, and DauT will wall behind and gets the wall up. Donjon for Dan. So that wall won't stay up for long. Sorokuma will commit to fighting it. This is still a Dark Age Palisade from DauT. And if DauT and Sorokuma are both engaged in this big of a Vil fight, then neither of them is going to be up anytime soon. And there's a diagonal gate from Sorokuma, immediately taken down from DauT. And a tower or a donjon up for Dan. He can start doing sergeants should he want to use them to break through the wall. But every bit of commitment from Dan is something that won't immediately, or that doesn't immediately pay off, means that Miguel, who's not committing, will have a better fish boom and a better boom. Saracens versus Sicilians, two interesting pocket civs. Camel's probably not going to be useful for the Saracens, though. Interesting to see how useful Mamluks are, but Sergeants should have some good melee armor later on. No halbs for the Saracens, so the Camels might not be too effective with the reduced bonus damage that the Sicilians have. Some more walls and gates going up for Mihai, and X in the middle for Sorokuma. Palisade gate for Sorokuma. Those attacking the walls. We'll have a house up for Dan. Scouts coming through for Miguel. As the Vil goes down, and more houses come up in the back for Sorokuma. Those come around, they'll hit the palisades. And there'll be more palisades going up behind this. There's a few scouts for Miguel still running around. And the other side looks fairly peaceful, just stone walls for everyone. This is, aside from the weird issue of the far passage down to the south, a fairly closed map, all things considered, where both pockets can just boom. But I am now seeing the additional TC already there for Miguel, as Dan's still on 1 TC. Might not have the same quality of boom, as he's just gonna wall this off. He says, Mihai, you can fend for yourself, I don't want scouts in my base. But Miguel at least is committing to scouts, so he's not pure booming. And just 2 TCs instead of 3 so far. Sorokuma going to continue Vil fighting, but this is more just about the wall positioning than anything else. He and DauT are Dark Age for a while. But again, Sorokuma down in Vils, 38 for DauT, 33 for Sorokuma. The Hindustanis have a Vil discount, so they are pretty smooth in fighting. But now they have to go for a farming eco. The sergeants from Dan, probably not quite as effective as the knights from Miguel. You can get spears out from the donjon. The spears will be helpful, but less so against the Vils. And honestly, nice decision from Sorokuma. He lost the Vil, but he'll trap the knight. He's just trying to get more walls up. And not fully walled yet, because DauT can delete this. And how did that... Oh, did Gemjack, I think, just ran through the gate. I think he just ran through the gate and destroyed a Miguel with a knight. So he's got 1 knight in. And that'll be very annoying, particularly as there's no loom in for Kamigawa, so he'll have to sacrifice some Vil time to go wall up and ensure nothing gets into him while he's the pocket. 1 knight against unloomed Vils could be pretty devastating. And this will just be taken and closed off. Another tower or a donjon forward for Dan.
Namaste.
As well as some walls up here for Miguel. And Mihai and Raven both up to the castle age. Kamigawa buying food. And there is another TC for Raven. So 2 TCs there. And some X's in the back for Dan. As he's gonna find and get a nice poke on one light cav. The other one survives. Feel like not all the army engaged. That was a bit weird. But one low HP light cav will survive for Miguel. We'll see if he keeps microing it. Will he micro it? No, he won't. And the pikeman gets a poke just in time before Miguel pulls it away. So that'll now be a third TC there for Dan. Another TC for Raven. The tower will hit the Vil from Raven. She will lose a bit of HP so far. No ballistics, of course. But once again, Imp for Mihai. This is how Mihai plays it. Don't fight in the Dark Age, fight in the Feudal Age. Set yourself up for a fast Imp. And once he gets Imp, things on that side will change a bit, as Raven, as the Maya, might not be ready to deal with it. He might need a lot of walling. And at the very least, he's gotten such forward walls for the moment that he might be able to stop the fast Imp, but he needs to get this wall up in the back, even sacrifice a Vil to do it. I think, oh no, he's not going to sacrifice the Vil. Ooh, I think he might have wanted to sacrifice the Vil. Let's see, he can maybe get it up. Okay, he does get it without sacrificing the Vil. Risky play there to bring the Vil back. But he'll be fine, and maybe recognizing what Mihai wants to do, he's going to start walling using those cheaper Maya walls. He has to be careful not to let his Vils run to the wrong side. The pikemen poking palisade walls. The sergeants continue fighting. Mangonel going for the palisades from DauT. And Feudal Age! As Sorokube reaches the Feudal Age, Mihai will be a minute away from Imp. DauT is up to the Castle Age. So we're seeing once again, I don't know what it is for Sorokube, but he's committing heavily to Vil fights and still falling behind. Feels like maybe he just doesn't have the Dark Age eco management for the Vil fights that some of the other maybe more experienced Rage Forest players do. You purchased the new Sync DLC. Man, that's how they get you. You purchase the Sync DLC, and if one person doesn't have it, then it still goes out of sync, right? Gotta force everyone to update. So Mangonel here can't really do much other than take out some palisades. Oh, Siege Tower! Let's go! Siege Tower from Dan. He can Siege Tower hop the sergeants to the other side, and then go for some donjons. Let's go, Siege Tower! There he goes, Siege Tower on the other side of the wall. Mangonel hits a Vil. And this Mangonel will be taken down by the sergeants. Some more Vils in the back for DauT. As we'll have a castle forward now for Mihai. And defensive castle for Raven. But defensive castle, that's inviting a Treb War that the Imperial Age player will win. And maybe you're doing this just to buy yourself time. But it's now 48 Vils to 41, so it's not like there's a huge eco advantage for Raven. Yeah, he does have 2 TCs. And maybe he can go Plumes from the castle. Well, that's Plumes against a ram push. That's not going to be all that great. Defensive Mangonel from Jimjack actually needs to shoot at the ram. More walls go up, but the Mangonel is there. And now we're just going to have a Treb War. And monks with the Burmese. So once again, Mihai with a monk and fast imp setup here. Able to get trebuchets out. The cheaper monk upgrades will be nice for him. Reduced cost. And Vils in the Siege Tower. Sorokuma needs to hop. But forward donjons now from Dan. Sorokuma's team being very aggressive. And DauT maybe struggling to deal with some of the aggression as the sergeants will go for a donjon right next to the TC. They won't care about that TC fire. They will care about it. They'll back off a bit. And Miguel forward with some Vils. The scores flip back and forth. Now, this is a lot of walling from Raven. Raven saying, I don't want the same tragedy to befall me as happened to DauT last game. I will wall off and not let this Imperial Age push get in. But that's a lot of walling he needs to commit to, where even a single hole in the wall means that this pushes through. Sorokuma watching and learning from DauT flank. So defensive castle here, as Mamluks come forward. Sergeants now, they have 5 melee armor though. Say more armor, I think the next armor upgrade needs to come in. The Sergeants, not quite Teutonic Knight levels of the counter Mamluks, but I think they should be okay against the Mamluks. As this donjon will go up, I don't think this stops the castle, but nice attempt. Yeah, more vills from Miguel. He will get the castle up and clear this donjon. I don't think Mamluks are the unit to use against Sicilians. Yeah, that's true. At least he's the Maya, so cheap walls, cheap fortified walls. He will pull back. But a couple of converted vills, actually 3 converted vills. That's insane for the block printing monks. And the monks are going to make it much harder to wall. They can convert the mangonel too. Swap targets and convert vills. More monks going for conversions. He picks off vills. Those all go down. And that is a lot of forward vills. Oh my gosh, the monks converting vills. The vills can vill fight the Treb. A Raven needs to repair. A Raven needs to repair Jimjack's Treb. Here comes some Cavaliers. He's not repairing the Treb. Okay, under half health. Don't think the Treb will go down. But oh my god, look at these walls. We have 207 tiles of fortified wall. It does not matter if DauT dies, because DauT can't stop the Sergeants. Dan has a good score lead, but the pockets for DauT's team are more boomed. They are more boomed. We have Jemjek and Miguel, certainly with better ecos. Molly and Pocket going for Rimba Cavaliers against the Magyars. In the long run, I think Kamigawa should have the much better unit composition. As weird as that is to say. He'll have Paladins plus Recurve Bow Heavy Cav Archer. Camels could maybe be an issue, but not as much if the Heavy Cav Archers are out there. And, I mean, what did the Mihai have in, the Burmese have in terms of rams? Yeah, they don't have siege ram. Only siege engineers cap rams, and the Magyars don't have good siege themselves. So this is a civ composition where it does feel like you can wall and wall and wall and keep them out for a while. And that's just helping Jemjak bide his time. Raven 55 vills, though, to Mihai's 71. So Mihai has certainly gotten ahead by booming while going for this push, 3 TCs. And defensive castle for Miguel stopping this. And now it's up to the pocket play to hold and protect the flanks. That's a lot of sergeants for Dan. He's going to try to trap DauT. And we'll have coinage here for Jemjak. The Hazira vills will go down. Monk's going to convert them. Treb's taking out a TC. Treb's going for the mining camp. Xing over here as some camels come forward, and the armored elephant will attack the market. We'll have a castle up for Miguel. Thumbring Imperial Age for Miguel as Trebs go for the donjon. There'll be another donjon up for Dan. And Mangonella hits some vills. Vills go down. And that Mangonel down as the elephant will attack the blacksmith. And all the cavaliers come forward. Monks want conversions. Trebs go for the enemy Trebs. This is still a good push from Mihai, and he's still taking out some castles. I mean, Raven down to 62 vills isn't really going to contribute anytime soon. He's going to need to reboom, moving to the back. He's going to do some fortified walls to keep this safe. That's a lot of cavaliers from Jemjak, but now Monk plus Cav Archer from Mihai and Kamigawa. I don't think that Jemjak can take a fight. Seeing the weakness of the Malian pocket now. What do Malians have in terms of monk techs? I think he really does need to do heresy in addition to devotion and faith. I think heresy would be a good upgrade for him. He has the gold for it too. While he's sitting at 200 pop, just do heresy, wait for that, and then fight. Tricky because he needs to have enough resources also to spam Cavaliers, as he will lose some. He's trying to come around the back with Farimba Light Cav. They're not going to find too many monks there. Mihai clouded a bit. Still good monk plays. And defensive castle from DauT. That castle will sacrifice some Vills in order to clean up some donjons, as he's trying to keep his TC standing. Our farm's up for Raven. Trebs will go for the castle. Monks go for some conversions on the Cavaliers. Veils on the workshop go down. This castle will go down to the Trebs. So this push, I don't know, Raven. What's Raven gonna do as the Maya? Maybe do plumed archers help against the recurve bow cav archers? I don't know. We had an attempted cut here from Dan, but that'll just run into a castle. Onagers will keep the siege rams back. Now DauT at 90 at what is it, 125 Vills. He does need to get up to Imp still. At the very least, Sorokuma still castle, but actually just castle for a few more seconds. He'll be Imp. And then he'll be Hindustani, so he can go Shatagni Hand Cannoneers against the Gajurs, which feels like it's gonna be rough for the Gajurs. And this is there a hole in the wall? I think there is. The Cavalier is trying to find a spot to fight as the walls are deleted for Raven. But Jimjack just can't quite take this fight against all of those heavy cav archers. Some Mamluks coming over. And, I mean, maybe the Malian player needs to get to Siege Onager, but that's still maybe a bit awkward against the monks, as Mihai has 136 Vills. He's ready to add elephants. And Saracens, again, a camel civ that doesn't really like dealing with elephants. Mamluks can get the job done. But it's still awkward when you kind of want halbs. But your two pockets, Malians and Saracens, neither of which have halbs. He doubts the Gajurs, he doesn't even have halbs either. The only halb player would be Raven. They stacked all their camel saves together. I mean, their camels do train faster. Let's see, there's no other, like, team camel bonus right now. So the ram push from Kamigawa continuing. As the Mamluks will come over now from Miguel. Leather archer armor on the way for DauT, as DauT is about to hit Imperial. Raven's still castle, but he's at 123 Vills. He might be able to click Imp and then contribute something soon. I worry that the thing might just be plumed archers. And I don't know what else he could do. Maybe just normal Arab, maybe Maya Skirm. I mean, he is adding some Skirms right now. So maybe that's what he does. He goes Skirm while doing trade and eventually tries to get Plumes. I mean, Plumes are still nice, but I think tricky to use against recurve bow. Up some Siege Onagers, getting taken down by Mamluks. Two units that kind of kill each other depending on the situation in the micro, but nice micro from Miguel. And, I mean, the scores are still pretty close. DauT's team only down by about 1k score, and they're about to have everyone boomed back. They actually have a 50 villager lead. And now, if the Sicilians start going Cavaliers, I mean, Mamluks still could be nice here. So annoying needing to treb every single donjon. Yeah, Holcha Javelineers, I mean, they're going to be against elephants, though. Maybe the plan is he needs to go halb against the elephant. It is 3 players here, and Mamluke's probably the best option the team has against the elephants. I mean, if Miguel could get overwhelming numbers of Mamluks, and by that I mean more than 60 on this side, like 80 plus, then he could take fights, but the fact he needs to be split on both sides is hurting him. Maybe what they need is Malian Cavaliers to go to the other side and help against the Sicilians, while the Mamluks from Miguel come to this side. As it will now be Farimba Heavy Camels. I mean, nice against the Magyar Hussars, but weak at the pierce damage that the Heavy Cav Archers will do. And with these forward castles, and still gold there, this team isn't going to be pushed soon. And Mihai's team starting to add their trade in. The most trade, though, so far for Gemjack. As these donjons actually are going to harass the trade a bit. And John Slow, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome in. We had a lot of monks earlier from Kamigawa. I mean, from Mihai here, as he and Kamigawa are pushing. But he's since swapped to elephants, so two very good circus units. And now they're relying on these hamster cav archers too. So DauT kind of died early on, but now he's getting to elephant archers. And maybe that's the answer against the Hindustanis, the elephant archers. I was worried about the hand cannoneers, but now he can get the archers out. There'll be Sicilian siege onagers and bombard cannon. So maybe that now the Saracens need to get some cannon out. Gajurs won't have siege engineers, so he probably would prefer that Miguel's the one who would do siege engineers in the cannon. I mean, if you don't have too many siege onagers, the elephant archers can be tanky enough to take them down. Jur ones, though, missing some armor at the end. And this push is getting essentially into the trade now, so it will be tricky for DauT's team to keep the trade numbers up. Especially DauT going elephant archers without trade. Treb down, and the Mangonel pushes, the Onager pushes. The trade here is just so far forward. Their markets are all the way in the back. That's an awkward pathfinding set to get there. And on this side, the elephants now can't be stopped. Elephants plus cav archers. So pikeman picked off by the cav archers. As they keep pushing forward. Camels will be fighting the elephants. And the Trebs now go for the castle. As cav archers now rampage through the economy of Gemjack. And now we have 161 vills for our Maya player, but it's just Pikeman Skirm, doesn't even have Halb yet. And it's taken Raven a really long time to boom back into this game. Finally Imp, but This is now recurve bow, heavy cav archers, and elite Burmese battle elephants. This is a scary army, and it's not something Malians and Maya can deal with. They don't have powerful enough units to fight this. Yeah, boom into bigger boom. That's what we have here from Mihai, a huge boom. Mangonel's getting a nice shot on the elephants. Can we get one more big shot on elephant archers? They have so much HP, they tank the siege onagers. It's crazy how tanky these things are. Part of me thinks a siege onager needs a bonus against an elephant archer. Another map break. Let's see. Yeah, it's just a spam tag. And there are the GGs there. And Team DauT down 0-2. I think that means they're eliminated. I think that means that having lost this set being 0-3, they won't be able to be top 4. So Mihai's team, Kamigawa beasting 435 kills. I thought Mihai's team had been underperforming so far. But this is the feels kind of like the Mihai strategy that he goes for is the flank. Twice in a row it's worked. And DauT's team not quite able to counter it. There we go. And for the civs, that was Sicilians, Hindustanis, Magyars, and Burmese carrying against Saracens, Gujars, Maya, and Malians. I was thinking the Malians pick was really early. I mean, you get to the end of the draft and there aren't many civs left, but Khmer Goths even still were available when DauT's team took Malians. And now that the final game, it probably has to be Slav Bulgarian pockets, then Byzantine Armenian flanks for DauT. Then Inca Wei flanks and Persia Teuton pockets for Mihai. So DauT is out, I believe. They'll still have one more game. It is a play all three. Never hope DauT's your team leader. Got an ad for how responsible and beneficial data centers are. Oh my gosh. Has the tower to deny castle play ever worked? You've never seen it? If it works, it works. You just gotta commit to the tower right away. Gotta commit right away. You can't hesitate. And yes, I have indeed seen the bug on Glade. The problem was we used the same map script from last time. And it was the base script from DE. And it uses include files from DE. And those files seem to have been updated in a way that breaks the spawning of the food from the previous script. It is a classic dependency broke issue. Have to question DauT team civ choices. They used 3 camel civs with no halbs in one game, no clear halb SO civ first game, and now they're using Slavs and Bulgarians in the same game. Yeah, that was weird, right? Because you get 3 camel civs, and you're knowing that Persians and Burmese are on the other team, and Khmer even, right? So they have elephant civs. I guess the Khmer were used in the first game, but when you don't have halbs, you can't really stop elephants and imps. Camel civs just don't cut it. Need NPM for map scripts. We just need DE not to have breaking changes to its include files. It's one of those things, the Dark Age food wasn't there, and I looked at the map to fix the regicide settings of fortified towers in a house, but just did not notice the sheep were missing. I'll use real AI as the AoE AI. I mean, getting an AI trained to play Age of Empires would be millions of dollars of training. I mean, it certainly is possible, but I doubt anyone would want to invest that much into creating something like that. That was the AoE 4 hype, right? They were hyping up AI like, oh, AI is going to be so good. It's not. That they could use some machine learning to improve the AI. That's just BS marketing talk. I mean, generative LLMs aren't really the playing game type of thing, right? They could generate AoE2 AI scripts, and that might be an interesting task for them. Hello, only cats. So, into the last game. Hello, Bonkers. Into the last game, and the civs remaining. And I mean, both teams have good pocket combos now. Slavs, Bulgarians, and Persians, Teutons. Maybe the awkward thing for DauT is they have two Halb SO civs, and they don't really have a Cav civ? Sure, either Slavs or Bulgarians could play Cav. They both have good Cavaliers, or Boyars or Konaks. They have a Cav unique unit. They don't just have that smooth boom into Paladins like the Persians would have, or even like the Teutons would have. Oh, the game is paused. They're paused at 7 seconds. That's weird. Why are they paused? Are they looking at lakes? Maybe debating lakes 3 versus 3. They're probably going to debate whether this is a restart. I would not restart for that, but they're probably going to check. We're trapped. Oh, wait, no, never mind. This is a trapped lake. Okay, yeah, that is a restart. Restart for trapped lake. There we go. They should be restarting for that. Yeah, there they go. All right. Restart for a trapped lake. Big deal. Who made this bugged map script? One day we will have the power to make a Rage Forest script that doesn't have bugs in it. One day. I hope so. His pitchforks and go to his house. As long as you stop by my ISP on the way, they could definitely use some pitchforks for their internet quality, or lack thereof. Alright, rehosting the lobby. Get some water. Alright, so everyone's still there. There'll be no Gem Jack this game. The Raven Matza coming back on for DauT, along with Miguel. Looks like Miguel will be the flank this time. DauT's gonna move to the pocket. It'll be the same Mihai, Kamigawa, Dan, and Sorokuma lineup for Mihai's team. As here we go, game number 3. And it'll be, let's get the colors set up. DauT against Mihai, swapping some colors around. So it'll be Mihai in the red this time, with Kamigawa as his pocket. Then Dan in purple and Sorokuma in orange on the flank. Against the Miguel now on the flank in the blue, with DauT in the green as his pocket. Then Raven and Matza on the other sides. So it is, as we said, Armenian Byzantine flanks, Bulgarian Slav pockets. 2 pawns per team. Very good pawn setup here for Mihai's pockets. Each of the pockets will have to go a bit forward to grab a pond on DauT's team. Not too big of a deal, though. Should be pretty easy for them. Some relic positions are just great. Yeah, we kept the resources on the side bubbles aspects of Black Forest. We just increased the total number of relics, so the trapped ones don't really matter too much if you can just take ones in the middle when there are more. You can always cut to them for more relics later. So immediately Miguel now going to engage on the Vil fight. DauT will try to help from the pocket position. And big Vil fight going on here. There is a scout from Miguel that's down. As Vils continue adding walls, and Sorokuma will get the wall off. So this is Sorokuma's most successful Vil fight so far. The other side, though, Mihai. Oh, Mihai, he's trying to go so far forward to hit the pocket's pond. Matza, mule cart in the middle of the wall. But the pond's where the real Vil fight's going down. Raven will bring the scout over. And where I said, yeah, it should be easy to get to the pond from the pocket. Maybe not. Maybe Mihai has some other ideas. So Vil some Sorokuma there, kill the boar. Wall going up for Mihai. And settlement there for Mihai on the wood line. Some X's up here for Kamigawa. And Mihai he's gonna fight a bear and try to wall it in. Does wall it in. So Inca flank Vil rushing. And honestly, a great settlement between the gold and the wood. But this will be forward Vils from Matza. Doesn't have... Whenever I see Matza going forward, I'm worried he's going to douche. Doesn't have a lumber camp up yet, so that could make it a bit harder. As Vils are going idle for a bit. As he's going to try to fight the Champy and the Scout in the middle. And oh, he'll take the boar. He let the boar walk a bit outside the TC. He was looking at his forward Vils, and that is an ugly boar position. That is a very ugly boar position. As a Vil will wall in a bear. As Vils fight a scout, and they'll go for a fight on the mule cart, because right now, this is walled, aside from the mule cart tile, blocking to keep the walls open. Matza will bring that around the back and use it to try to trap some of Mihai's Vils. I think Matza and Mihai both lose a Vil. The scout is in the back for Kamigawa. Mihai could now tap that palisade if Kamigawa's scout would move. The Vil will dance back and forth a bit. She'll go to the other side and get the wall up and try to wall from that side as more Vils come forward from Matza. And right now he is trapped, but he's still killing Vils. Matza forward, he will try to destroy the walls and get through. Mihai needs to repair, he's going to lose one Vil. He'll delete the wall to try to save her, and send more Vils forward. This is now descending into madness, as Matza is forward with 12 villagers. And he's going to trap and use the mule cart to kill another one of Mihai's Vils. He's just using the mule cart as so much HP to keep killing the Vils. The Armenian mule cart beasting here that will get repaired. It'll be repaired. It was about to go down. Now it just gets repaired. There's another Vil trapped on top of it. This is crazy. It's 1-by-1, but it can't be stopped. The ultimate Vil fighting weapon. These walls need to go down. Yeah, foreign food, the rest forward. There's got to be a bit of idle time there. No, not yet. Only 1 second. Well, it's on a boar, so that's fine. We would have loved to have had that boar more under the TC. Also, still the forward walls from Mihai. Mihai still has a sneak Vil. 6 HP left, though, and that's essentially just 1 idled Vil for him forever. We'll have DauT up to the Feudal Age. He'll be the first one clicking up. And also, we had Raven decide he's going to share a pond with Miguel. So DauT, as the Slavs, is just deciding, you know what, I have a farming bonus. I want Fish Boom. But Mihai's team with the 2-pocket fish boom feels like they're super far ahead. Bill's taking the deer. As Matza will get back to his TC. And we'll have some Xing in the middle for Kamigawa. Xing in the back for Sorokuma. Saying to wall up? What is in that would need walling? Oh, Matza's Vills. Matza's Vills, they've just walked down to the pocket. Honestly, this is, I think, douche time for Matza. Does he have a lumber camp now? No. Okay, if he gets a lumber camp and then gets wood, then I think it actually is douche time. Oh, right, it is Persians. It is Persians. Maybe he needs to go then to Dan, if Dan doesn't get that walled. You're right, it's Persians. And not against the Persians. Don't douche the Persians. He's getting dangerously close to that TC. What's he gonna do then? I think he realized it is the Persians and maybe is now heading towards Dan? I mean, nothing really about that mill anymore. I guess the berries have been taken. There's still a couple of deer there. Man, Mihai's got one poor Vill who's been chasing all these Vills. And he's just Vill fighting anything he can now. And we will have Mihai up to the feudal age now. That scout for Sorokuma goes down. And Mihai has a barracks in the back. He'll go for an archery range. No stable for the Inca. So you can just go for a range. He could go champies. So far, the sneak hasn't been spotted. Raven will go maybe dock that pond now, try to have a 2-pond fish boom. DauT still up to the castle age, another minute away before he has to do more TCs. Barracks for Kamigawa, so at least this is disrupting him. Yeah, sneak forward versus a douche would have been devastating, right? Well, I guess to be fair, the archers would kill any small-walled Vills, so it actually would kill anything that Matza had. You kind of get there and realize there's nothing to raid, but also no TC to defend the little that's there. So DauT forward with a scout. There's so much Xing on the minimap. That's the downside of players in voice chat. You don't know what they're Xing about. And if it was their plan? Well, I mean, Matza having fun with the Vill fights. Mihai gonna turn around and wall. Matza can stay Dark Age. I mean, he is pretty far ahead in Vills because he is Dark Age. Won't have the eco upgrades, but we'll have a nice Vill advantage. And oh, the scouts! The scouts there. Dan almost able to pick off Ravensville. Maybe the bear will get the Vill. Wait, 5 HP. 5 HP, no loom. He should see the bear from DauT scouting. He knows he can't go past the bear. Yep, and there is the deletion on the TC. And where is the douche? No more TC. Where does the TC go? Where does the TC go? Over here? He doesn't have the wood, I think, to build it yet. Okay, yeah, Matza needs more wood before he can douche. Maybe that was a bit premature in deleting the TC. Yeah, I think he had to have been thinking of douching the pocket before realizing, hey, they're Persians, I shouldn't do this. Well, he needs the wood. Yeah, that's why he has the mule cart. He doesn't need a lumber camp. He has the mule cart. But there is a knight now from Kamigawa, so the TC has to go up just so we can garrison against the knight. There it is. Mihai should probably delete those farms now. Maybe farm out by the settlement. Wait, oh wait, he only has... What happened then? Did he lose? It must have lost the first one then. Wait, if he only has... If he's 0 stone, he had to have lost the first one then. Did the TC, like, one-shot it? Yeah, he had to have lost the first one. Maybe he tried it on the pocket and it failed. But yeah, you're right. That's why he didn't have the wood then if he lost the TC. But he's trying it again. Problem is, Mihai could now do the wood upgrade and just repair his TC and fight back with archers. I guess he does have a double range forward. And there should be no eco safe in the back. The only downside is, well, he does have fletching. So yeah, he does have fletching. Question is whether Mihai actually wants to commit to repairing. You only need 2 vills to repair. But if you could get a few archers forward and garrison the TC with them, that'd be great. And yeah, knights plus archers now going to raid the vills. Matsu's going to lose a lot of vills here and should not have a safe economy. Yep, there go the vills. Now he's down to 32. Now has fewer vills than the player who's an age ahead of him. And he's going to run. He'll try to wall this to keep the archers out. We'll have a ram from Raven, though. A ram from Raven. I mean, maybe Mihai needed 1 range forward, 1 range at home, so we could put archers in the TC. And we'll need the pocket knights to deal with the ram. Yo, on the other side, there's a game happening there, too. Triple Mangonel push from Sorokuma. Triple Mangonel push from Sorokuma against Miguel. Miguel will go for a Mangonel defense behind stone walls. We'll have 1, 2, 3 TC boom for DauT, and 1, 2, 3 TCs here from Dan. As the ram will find the houses, trying to grab the weak spot in the walls. And will there be more repairs from Mihai? By the looks of it, no. DauT is here with a light cav, too. He's trying to pick off some vills. Not too much of a commitment from him. Matza now, at least he has a TC, I guess? That's better than will happen for Mihai. Mihai is going to try to run. Where is he running to? Mihai will find this and fight with the vills. As Mihai is 0 TC gaming right now, if the Pockets had more army, they'd be picking off tons of vills from Mihai. Monks forward for Raven. There are some archers from Mihai thinking of raiding DauT. They'll be peppered with TC arrow fire. Maybe find, or attempt to find some weak vills on the farms, like that one right there. I have an X here in the middle, as Mihai's vills are being spotted by DauT's scout. And here is the ram now from Raven. As more vills are going to come forward from Matza. Again, remembering this is the Persian pocket with extra HP on the TCs. And also with a fish boom, so you're not going to be pressuring so many farms. 6 farms, though, not pure fish. Garrison vills and repairing. I mean, it might have won, but then you're worried about the rams from Raven. So I don't know what would have been the right response there. The ideal thing for him would have been to get archers in the TC, so he's not idling vills. But, I mean, 10 vills plus the wood upgrade might have been the right idea. Alright, so here Mangonel defense from Miguel. Looks like it's still working out. He is up by a few vills over Sorokuma. And it's Byzantines versus Wei, a matchup where I do kind of like Byzantines, as vills from Matza are fighting Kamigawa's scouts. Scorpion from Raven. So Raven's going to get a 5 TC boom behind this. At least he does have something of a fish boom. Dan is the Teutons to look at. Teutons 107 vills with a fish boom. Oh man, this is the Teuton dream right here. Other than that lumber camp that's idled. There we go. Vills can pathfind. Yeah, I mean, Kamigawa did have knights. So, what is Matza doing? Matza's now with 28 vills that are forward. 29 vills. The archers are going to run underneath his TC because he has only a single villager with which to garrison it. And Mihai will just destroy palisades here. That is actually walled off fully for now. And Matza has to send his vills back just to garrison the TC. Mihai should run those vills now. That palisade will be down, but too close to the TC to matter. Let's see, do we have that stat? Idle Eco is huge. I don't think we have Vill efficiency last minute in the team game, but Idle Eco, close enough. 5 minutes of idle TC, and that's also, remember, he also had time with 0 TCs. So boars there from Matza. As the Mangonel push isn't making progress, Matsu just going to continue doing the TC forward. He'll try to take down the watchtower from Mihai. As the house here goes up for Mihai. Or, I mean, goes down for Matza, the opposite of that, the other player. Yeah, there's the house. Mihai trying to wall this in. And now he has a Vil lead, finally. Meanwhile, we're going to have a defensive castle here from Dan on the pocket, protecting him from any further attempts from Matza to fight. And the wall will be deleted, so Matza can try to run some Vils. TC can't quite hit the final watchtower, so Mihai's still surviving with his Vils over here. And the monk from Raven still applying a bit of pressure. And Dan having the biggest boom so far as the Teutons will be going Man-at-Arms and Imperial Age, so he might be going Teuton Champions. Well, against Bulgarians, having the extra melee armor as the Teutons might be nice. He could get Teutonic Knights against the Bulgarians. Yeah, will Matza reach Feudal this game? He needs a TC to do that. What are his resources? Doesn't have the food for it yet. And now, fortified wall for Sorokuma, ensuring that Miguel won't be able to push him on this side. Still not the best fish boom from Raven, but DauT's about to be up. He could do Drazina champions to try to fight the Teutons. As a mule cart enclosure now has been found, and Matza will lose some Vils. There's a Mangonel getting some good hits. Men-at-Arms are there. At least he'll scout the swordsman play. But all of Matza's Vils there go down. He's on 18 Vils. Mihai on only 41. So, I mean, the best thing Matza can do is try to keep this to a 3v3 as best he can. And just annoy Mihai. But Mihai, at the very least, has managed to run and get his TC up to the south of Kamigawa's base, where Matza won't be able to reach him, at least not for now. This tower will go down to the Vils. Yep, all ages at the same time. Dark, Feudal, Castle, and Imperial. That's what you like to see. So there's a castle drop from Kamigawa. Matza will try to run Vils. He doesn't have anywhere to run to. He'll be chased by that cav. He's walled in by Mihai. He can go back to his TC, but that'll be just about it, as the Persians can drop elephants on him. Now, had he been able to get to Dan MT and raid there, that would have been one thing. But not going to douche the Persian pocket. I mean, I don't think douching the pocket is necessarily a horrible strat on Rage Forest if you do it early enough that you disrupt their boom. But you can't do it when the pocket's the Persians. So big bombard cannon push here from Miguel versus lots and lots of fortified walls from Sorokuma. Sorokuma learning the ways of the fortified wall on Rage Forest. And he's doing it as the way. I'll be adding more ranges in the back. Well, the TC not down yet. Waiting for the petards or the elephants from Kamigawa there. But the swordsman will be pushing with a bit of a cut from the onagers there, as I don't think Dan can be stopped at this point. Even adding in the purple Teutonic Knight. Look at him go. Look at him slashing and stabbing at that Mangonel. Down it goes. And these Vils have to pull back for Raven. Some Xing in the middle here from Mihai. And the Vils still running forward for Dan. As DauT's team is struggling now. DauT trying to go Elite Boyar. And they should deal with the champions now. They have a ton of melee armor. They can deal with the champions. I mean, the champions have a lot of melee armor too. They still can get another one. But Boyars will be there. Boyars have good attack. But now it'll be Bulgarian two-handed swordsmen. And Boyars. I'm thinking it's time maybe for some more Teutonic Knights. So we got Castle Age from Mihai. Right now, Matza's still dark. And Matza here on the verge of getting defeated. He's got 12 Vils left. 11 of them are here. He's got 11 left. This is everything that Matza has left. And Matza will be out of the game as the TC is collapsing. The Knights are killing all of the villagers. And I don't think his team's in a position to win 3v4. I think there goes the TC. Here go the Vils. Well, DauT's team called GG when one of their players is defeated. Oh, the Cavaliers are attacking the mule carts. Go for the final 2 Vils. Wait, 3 Vils. Where is the final... Wait, where are the final Vil? There's 1 Vil that ran. Wait, there's 1 Vil that ran. Matza has a safe Vil. Matza's not going to be defeated. He has a safe Vil on 4 HP. How did this Vil get away? He did. But he has 4 HP left. He ran a Vil, you're right. He did manage to run a Vil. He'll get a TC. He's not dead. The Boyars actually are raiding Sorokuma. Wait just a minute. Sorokuma, despite all those walls, a passage was pushed through the walls. I was looking at Matza. But wait a minute. The DauT is raiding Sorokuma. DauT's team still has the score lead. Is it possible that DauT's team wins this game? I mean, the Teuton player going champions is going to be champions into Bulgarian two-handed swordsmen that have all that melee armor. And Teutonic Knights would be probably better than the champions here. But he's going champion. And hold on a minute. Could DauT do this? I said Slavs could be a cav civ. DauT showed us yes. DauT had managed to cut all the way through, and he will have now another passage into Dan's base, where he can simply send the Boyars from home to over here. He could maybe cut to the side and get into Kamigawa's base too. Dan trying to pull back with his halbs to defend this. Dan doing a castle. That's a lot of bombard cannon from Miguel. Love the cuts. DauT's team could do this. Here I am thinking, oh, Sorokuma's walled up, they'll play 4v3, but no. Sorokuma's dead. It's 61 Vils to 57. And Miguel, as long as he can contribute something, they're kind of playing 4v2 at the moment. And maybe, just maybe, they have a window before either of the other 2 flanks reboom that they could win. Imagine Matza rebooms from 1 Vil, and eventually that matters as he now has a town center. He's still Dark Age, so I don't think it's worth it for his team to sling him yet. But there will be a point in time where maybe it is worth it. As Matza, yes, he just did a TC. What the heck is this game? Is this the strategy? DauT just, maybe he had too many teammates before, just needs to play by himself to carry. He's slinging a bit of resources, and they can sling him, he just can't sling. As it's 144 Vils now for Dan, and he does have a good eco to spam more Vils should he need to, but also the units are in his economy. He doesn't have much res, he's floating. Miguel needs to spend his food and his wood, and his gold, and his stone, and just actually push. Because 67 Vils, Sorokuma, he's dead. And, I mean, he doesn't really have a spot to run to. The two-handed swordsmen from Raven are pushing. Two-handed swordsmen could take a castle. Teutonic Knights usually massacre two-handed swordsmen, but lots of melee armor everywhere here. Absolutely pure chaos this game. As here come the two-handed swordsmen, and maybe there was just enough mayhem caused from Matza that his team can hold on. We have the bombard towers now, and they can still do Greek fire there from Miguel. Castle going up for Dan. And right now, of all units, the two-handed swordsman, something that Teuton's unable to stop. Not enough Teutonic Knights out there, not upgraded to elite. Dan's eco is in shambles as he's being raided by DauT and now losing a castle on the side. Castle down, two-handed swordsman fighting the Savars. Trebs are pushing the castle. Red and orange are contributing the same as Matza at this point. Yeah, exactly. The Mihai's Castle Age, Sorokuma was imp but just died. I mean, where are his Vils even? He's got... Oh, he's rebooming now in Mihai's original base, but he's about to get pushed by siege onagers as he's rebooming. DauT is being raided. He's being raided by one Savar. Okay, DauT needs to wall off the passageway he created. Miguel, quick wall. Do a gate. Miguel, don't let Kamigawa raid your pocket. Oh, Miguel... Rage Forest 101, wall off your cut so it can't be used against you. That's just gonna go through. The castle's not ready to defend it. So 3 castles, 4 castles defending this. But he'll just run through. As the trade is now hit, Boyar is here. They have 11 melee armor. That's even more than the Teutonic Knights. Well, imagine these raids somehow found Matsu's reboom. Yeah, Matsu's gonna do trade carts and reboom as he's up to the castle age. And DauT is being raided. Miguel, there's no reason for DauT to be raided right now. He just doesn't notice this. He's too focused on the Treb push. Too focused on using the Arbs to protect the Trebs with the Bombard Cannon. He's gonna take down that castle pretty soon. He'll have guilds from Dan. This game is absolutely wild. As the Bulgarian push continues, siege onagers added in. And Kamigawa, as the Persians really can't stop this. They really can't stop this. This is not a Savar situation for him to be going Savars against the Halb player. That's true. Mihai was the highest rated player on the team and was taken out by Matza. And he was, I think, the final pick against the captain. So absolutely crazy game. We'll have one Savar raiding Raven. Raven will need to realize that's there. DauT still pushing. 86 Vils now. And Mihai at 126 Vils but stuck in the castle age will call GG. And what the heck happened there? Matza survived on 1 villager. He has 12 Vils left, but he took out Mihai. And when I thought all these walls meant, okay, the team will just boom and be safe and then play 4v3, no, they breached the walls way too quickly. Sorokuma suddenly destroyed, almost defeated by DauT's elite Boyars. And at that point, it was basically a 3v2. And DauT's team goes to win. That's why I love Rage Forest. You can have as many fortified walls as you want, but you're never safe. 305 kills for DauT as the Slavs. I think his team is eliminated still from losing the set, but at least they pick up a win, and in crazy fashion, as DauT has 83k res collected. Dang, DauT, huge carry. Yeah, Matsu's that Urkai in the 2 towers who bombs the walls of Helm's Deep. I think that's the best way to describe him. Hopefully we're going to see a lot of that come up when we do Sudden Disaster. But okay, Persians and Teutons just lost. Is Paladin Pocket the way to play, actually? Should we just do double SO Pocket? Dang. Alright, well, we will be done for today. I need to go finish some Regicide Rumble maps. But I'm going to try to do as much streaming as I can over the weekend, but outside of Regicide Rumble, so keep an eye out for that. And that'll be it for today. Only 2 hours, so a bit of a short stream. But thank you all very much for watching, and again, if you missed stuff, it'll be on YouTube. I'll go make sure the VOD is available. So GG's, and I think we'll go raid Regicide Rumble, and we'll be back